Okay, let's make gun fit a little less confusing. Hi, I'm Carly Deacon, Program Manager with the Manitoba Wildlife Federation and winner of Frankie Canada's Top Outdoors Woman Contest. Now that we have mastered our gun mount, let's try to eliminate some of the confusion around gun fit. Since a shotgun is pointed and not aimed, it's so important that the gun properly fits the shooter, and we all know that no person is built the same. So we want a shotgun that shoots where you look. There are 3 common dimensions to look at when establishing a good gun fit. One is the length of pull, the other is the drop, and the last one is the cast. First, let's review all the components of the shotgun so we understand that gun fit measurements a bit better. When I hear that whistle blowing, I hang my head and cry. Dining car, probably drinking coffee, man, even smoking big cigars. I know I had it coming. I can almost guarantee that most new shooters would often overlook a shotgun's length of pull, unless they had someone there to explain it to them. Yet it's one of the most important measurements you can take to determine a proper gun fit. The length of pull is measured from the end of the gun's buttstock to the middle of the gun's trigger. So to measure properly if a gun fits you, shoulder the firearm as if you were ready to shoot. Measure the distance from your nose to your thumb knuckle. If there are more than 1.5 to 2.5 finger widths between your nose and your thumb knuckle, the firearm length of pull is likely too long. Just the contrary, if there is less than 1.5 to 2.5 finger widths between the length of pull, it's likely too short. An average length of pull is around 14 inches, but the majority of the guns come with the means to adjust this length with added stock spacers or recoil butt pads. But shortening the length of pull becomes a bit more difficult as it requires permanently cutting the stock. Now here's a good tip, and just to remember, for every 1/4 inch you add to the stock or 1/4 inch you cut off of your stock, you're adjusting your nose to thumb knuckle gap by 1 inch. While mentoring some smaller women or children, I like to first try them with 12 gauge shotgun rather than a 20 gauge. I find that smaller frame shooters can often handle a 12 gauge as long as the length of pull is compatible and the barrel length is manageable. There are some compact 12 gauges, such as Frankie's Affinity Compact, that still provides a smaller frame shooter with gun control and balance, but it has a little less recoil. The extra recoil pads or butt spacers will also allow you to adjust the length of pull for, as example, if your up-and-coming youth hunting partner keeps growing. Now drop. Drop is actually measured in 3 places, at the face, at the comb, and at the heel. Today we're going to talk briefly about drop at the comb. Drop is the measurement that will determine whether your shotgun pattern lands higher or lower than desired. A stock that's too high can cause you to shoot too high, and a stock that's set too low can cause you to shoot too low. So drop at the comb is measured from the rib to the height of the top of the stock or the comb. So draw an imaginary line extending from the rib straight back to the heel of the shotgun. The measurement between the line to the top of the comb is the drop at the comb. So you can also lay your shotgun on upside down on its rib to see the differences in the drop at the comb from one gun to another. Okay, now the cast. The cast is how you adjust your eyesight if you're too far left of the rib or the target or too far right of the rib or the target. It's the measurement from the center of the rib to the center of the stock's butt. But the gun stock is casted to the right of the center of the rib. It's defined as cast off. If the gun stock is casted left to the center of the rib, it's defined as cast on. So you can assess whether or not your gun's cast needs to be adjusted, again by shouldering your gun in front of the mirror and looking at the position of your eye in relation to the rib. It should be centered without the need to roll your head over the stock in order to put it there. Again, these alterations are permanent, so you'll want to consult with a good gunsmith or look into lots of gun options. In this video, we reviewed some basic measurements that you can identify whether or not your shotgun is a good fit for you. As previously mentioned, positioning yourself in front of a mirror and shouldering your firearm will give you a great visual of where your eye sits in relation to the rib of your gun. Your eye should be just above and perfectly centered. Another great trick that I just learned is to tape a straw to the rib of your shotgun and shoulder it as if you were shooting. You should have a perfect visual right down the center of that straw. A proper gun mount with a well-fitted shotgun will drastically improve your shooting skills and will instantly instill confidence in any shooter and ultimately achieve success. For more information on shotgunning, or if you're interested in participating in our hands-on shotgun training programs, call or email us anytime at the Manitoba Wildlife Federation office.